Thank you for stopping by my channel, Menace Armament. I do want to send out a thank you for the ones that have subscribed. That's jumped up quite a bit considering this channel's brand new and I'm still figuring all this stuff out, so I do appreciate that. We did hit over 40,000 views on the channel-wide area, and I do appreciate that as well. It's not a big channel, but we're growing and we'll go from there as I go down this journey as a new gunsmith and just trying to figure out all this stuff. But let's get to actually the video here. We're going to be talking about the Bergara B14. It's a 22 long rifle. It was a custom build by someone else, and let's go ahead and do a breakdown of what's in this rifle, because I'll be shooting this tomorrow and day after tomorrow at two local matches and an ARA side, so 50 yards, and that's the target I was shooting at today at the range. I do apologize, this whole video is just going to be me talking over the video pretty much, just because I forgot to turn on the mic to my computer apparently. So like I said, still figuring out all this stuff, so bear with me. And again, thank you for the likes, the subscribe, the comments. Some of you are a little rude and not even making much sense on some others as well, and others I do appreciate the constructive criticism. A lot of what I'm doing I am pretty much new to. A lot I'm not. I do have associates and all that. I have the education, but when it comes to boots on the ground, I haven't done quite enough. So I've also noticed that when I'm just having fun pulling the trigger, that I tend to have some old habits or old things that were taught to me through the military or the law enforcement program, things of that nature that come back that really aren't what you're supposed to do, or things that for some reason I just started doing and I'm not sure how. But all of that's going to come with practice, and that's what I suggest to anybody in this field is get out and do some practice. I mean, you got to have fun, but go out, work on different things. Don't just play the video games and think you know it all. Um, find those people that have been doing it a long time, learn from them, and pass that knowledge down to your young ones, as you've seen with like Menace Jr. I've been showing him things, and hopefully soon, if the weather holds out to where we could actually go out for a while, he'll be shooting these competitions with me as well. But let's get back on track and watch this video out at the range, and I'll give you a nice little breakdown of what I got in front of me there. Thank you. Alright, like I said before, this is Bergara B14. This was actually built by Gunsmith at Motocam Custom Rifles. It's got a Krieger 1/16 twist. It's a 24-inch barrel. And I've got the anti-cant on there. That's what you were just looking at. This is me doing setup and everything else like that. So basically I'm just going to keep telling you about the gun as you watch me talking to the camera that isn't even recording my voice. So I am fast forwarding through all of this. See here, 24-inch barrel. It's got a Trigger Tech diamond trigger. It's a MDT Oryx chassis with the Burris XTR2 5x25 scope. That scope is actually pretty nice. I've been using the Arkin 5x25 and it works pretty well. Comparing the two side by side, I don't know yet which one I would pick. I need to get behind the Arkin a little bit more. I think it has a more forgiving sight box area, and that does help tremendously. Now this rifle hasn't really been shot at all. I think now it might have 200 rounds through it. 300, let's see here. I probably shot 100, 150 rounds, so yeah. I mean, it's still under the 200 mark, which for a brand new gun, you do actually want to shoot a little bit more. Now you did see the red circle at the top. Sorry I missed it as I was just babbling on over here. This is just me sighting in on that top left hand corner, trying to make sure everything is pretty lined up and good to go. And the group actually, for right off the bat, like the cold bore shift was just slightly low and to the right. It really wasn't too bad. I was kind of impressed with that. Now I'm trying to make some adjustments a little bit to see if I can get a little bit closer to that 0 mark. You'll see I did get it on pretty good, but I probably should have fast forwarded through a little bit more of this, but it didn't really take much to get it zeroed in. I mean, one shot off a little bit, and from there it was shooting a pretty good group. I mean, this hasn't been broken in. Now I'm starting to actually shoot in the normal area, doing 5-round groups. This is where I'm using SK rifle match, and I did fast forward through some of this area, going a little fast, but I did run into some issues with the magazine. Um, it's all this is all brand new setup. Like I told you before, every custom rifle has its niches and its own little things that you got to work through or you find a way to deal with. But this one was I also had to adjust the magazine because I did notice some of my shots were a little bit off, but then also just wasn't feeding quite right. So like it would either not feed anything, and this is me kind of messing with it, trying to figure out what's going on here. Why is it not feeding the round? So I think it feeds a round because when it does feed, it's really smooth. So it's hard to tell if a round went with the bolt or not. But for the most part, it's working just fine. If you notice, some of my groups are really tight. Others are a little bit wider. Um, that comes into play. Just I think it's my cant. That's why I bought this anti-cant. I'm a cheapskate. I didn't want to buy the MDT $220 one or whatever it is, so it could have flashing lights at me. The one I got does have a digital display and a regular bubble, which I actually kind of like that. I like having analog and digital abilities. But I'm just making some adjustments, trying to kind of figure out what's going on. It does take me a little while to kind of think that maybe it is me canting the rifle. So it's on me. Like I told you, the rifle shoots better than I do. I'm still figuring out my setup and everything. I'm pretty new to the rimfire world, but I did start to figure it out, and I'll show you at the end of this video or this me shooting the whole target because I shot SK rifle match, Ely 10X, and I also shot Browning Pro 22. Somebody gave me that to try out. I only shot 10 rounds with that, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. But again, just as the barrel heats up, the day is heating up, the sun's out, kind of adjusting a little bit, trying to figure out where I'm hitting. But yeah, that was me getting the warning that my computer's going to die on me. So I didn't film all my shooting, which would get kind of boring after a while. But here's my target. As you can see, right there square in the middle is that Pro 22. Not even, after doing 10 shots, it wasn't even worth it. We're talking like inch and a half groups. My SK shot really good. The 10X shot pretty good. It's hard to tell which one's better out of the two, but overall, it went pretty well. All right, back out front in the store here. Talk about this target. You saw the photo of earlier. The Browning wasn't very good. The thing I did notice with no matter what I was shooting, the way some groups would be right on top of each other. In fact, there's one or two on there you can't even tell I shot 5. And then like number 6, I shot extra at that one. I'm not really sure why I did that, but I did. Probably because that group was frustrating me. I did notice that as I was paying the times I was paying attention to my camp the best and trying to get it as straight as I could, every shot the same. That's when I would get the better group. That's why I got the anti-camp, made by Triton, ARTMS. If you Amazon that and find it on there, it's like 40 bucks. I got it within 2 days. So we're gonna see how well it works, but and go from there. But I am going to be sticking with SK rifle match for now. I'm too cheap for the 10X. Tried it out, and overall it'd probably do better than the SK, but we can only go from here. But I'll let you know how this match goes. Maybe I'll try to get some video tomorrow and Sunday at these matches that I go to. It'll be fun, that's for sure. All right, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe.